How fun is it for you now to have all these new production tools at your disposal to do promos and vignettes and stuff now that you're with WWE?
It's an absolute dream. I have access to the greatest brains in professional wrestling, who are, Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Sarah Amato as the women's coach, and everybody else, Norman Smiley, Coach Bloom, everybody. It's just like a crazy feeling, and it validates how the hard work that I have put in over the last over 10, 12 years to get to this point. And I feel like I'm learning absolutely something new every day, and they're really pushing me creatively and physically. And so I really look forward to what's going to happen through the rest of this year in NXT. I mean, I've only been there for 3 months, but it really has been a dream come true to finally be somewhere that I've wanted to be for so long. And I take nothing for granted. And I'm just going to try and absorb as much knowledge from all these amazing creative people as I can.
How flattering and awesome is it when people find out you're in NXT and all of a sudden it's like, think of all the dream matches, right? Like there's a dozen or so women in NXT, I feel like, that everybody can't wait to see you in the ring with right now.
Yeah, I feel like the whole entire WWE roster, it's just endless amount of first-time matches for me since I, after, this decade-long career, finally getting there. So there's so many women there who have been there for quite a while that we just have never crossed paths. So this is an opportunity for so many dream matches for me, from everyone at NXT to, taking on the NXT Women's Champion and Raquel Gonzalez, to Dakota Kai, to Ember Moon. Shotzi and I have tagged before on the indies, but never had a one-on-one match against each other, and then you look at the natties of the main roster. Like both of us trained from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'd love to face Natty. I'd love to face Naomi. I'd love to face Charlotte. I'd love Becky to come back. Sasha Banks, the new talent in Bianca Belair, and of course Rhea Ripley. It's just an endless amount of these dream matches, and I can't wait to be fully totally in the mix and really get started on that.
So we've really only seen you have one match in an NXT ring so far, right? The world premiere where you beat up poor Cora Jade there. What can we expect here with the encore? What is the encore going to entail this coming Tuesday?
Ooh, darling, I can't tell you all the secrets. No, I'm excited. This next Tuesday on NXT at 8/7 Central on the USA Network, the Franky Monet encore of my world premiere will be happening. So you don't want to miss it. You know that I have been messing around backstage with everybody and trying to, letting everybody know who I am and that I'm here to stay. And so it can only mean that it's going to be as epic as my debut.
Okay, fair enough. How did you come up with the name Franky Monet? I mean, really, I've known you as Taya for so long. It is difficult to to call you by this new name. I'm getting used to it. How did you come up with it?
It was very interesting when I was trying to, I fought really hard for Taya. But sometimes it's time to evolve and change and kind of make this new chapter in my career. And I feel like this was the time for it. It felt, I was a little bit sad at first because I felt like she died, but she's always a part of me. And, I continue to Taya forever. It's just, Franky is an evolution of Taya. Definitely. Anybody who knows my career knows that this is just a natural transition into Franky Monet. So Franky was the creative team allows us to come up with a bunch of names, and it's kind of just this going back and forth. It's like naming a baby. You're going to be remembering and being associated with this name for the rest of your life, so it has to be something that you really, really like. And so we went back and forth with different names, and Franky I've always liked for a girl. I really like unisex names for girls. I think that they're fun, they're different. It's definitely something that no one has really used on the pro wrestling platform before, other than someone like a Franky Kazarian. But I think that I just really, really liked the name. I remember hearing the name for the first time in a movie, in Stigmata, actually.
Great movie.
Yes. So that was the first time I ever heard a girl being called Franky. And I remember many, many, many years ago when I heard it, I thought it was really, really cute. And Monet actually comes from the French artist. Growing up, my dad is from Switzerland, so when we would travel to Europe a lot as a kid, we would always go to the art exhibits all over Europe. And I just always remember the Monet paintings and the Salvador Dali exhibits and like all these kinds of different things. And so I thought it was important to have something artistic as part of my name, because that I do feel as that I am an artist, and that what I do every week is art and self-expression and sports entertainment and all these wonderful things. So I felt like that was just a nod to my life being brought up around the arts.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, now I know. I'm really happy that that's why it was Monet. I was like, if it was going to be not the artist, I had some questions. This is, like you say, an evolution. So how do you see Franky Monet being different from Taya Valkyrie? Like, I'm sure Triple H probably had like some idea, or I would imagine that they had some kind of idea of how they wanted you presented. Like, what's different now for you?
I just think she's just so much more extra than Taya was. She's just so much more. I mean, and now she has a Presley with her. Come on. Yeah. It's great. I mean, my dog gets to come to work with me every day, and he's been doing an excellent job. I feel like he's just, you know, the crowd favorite. To be fair, he's probably stealing all the scenes from me. But it's just, I don't know. She's just like that much more intense and that much more crazy, and we haven't even gotten to see any of that yet. You know, I'm excited for this natural evolution into Franky Monet to evolve in front of all of you, because you guys are experiencing it at the same time as I am. And I'm so happy that Triple H and Sean and Road Dogg and all the entire creative team have really been so open-minded and accepting of my ideas and really allowing me to be creative and expressing, you know, who I think Franky is in my own way, and being supportive of, you know, sometimes I come up with some really crazy stuff. But that's part of it. I'm constantly taking notes and watching movies and finding pop culture references. And like, I'm constantly thinking. Franky is in my head 24 hours a day. And I'm so happy that I have such a wonderful place like NXT to be growing in front of you all as fans and for myself.
So why did you decide now? Because, I mean, you had a great run, obviously, at Impact, where a lot of people knew you there. So why did you decide now was the time to make a leap to WWE finally? What was the impetus, I guess, for you to do that?
WWE has always been where I wanted to be. I mean, it's WWE. We all grew up with it. We all watched our favorite stars and, you know, aspired to be like them. I wanted to be like Lita, Trish Stratus, and Tori Wilson and Victoria. That's who I wanted to be. And I just always knew that that's where I needed to end up. And when my contract was coming up, it was hard. I was scared. Like, I was like, okay, like I've been signed to these companies and with television companies for more than 9 years, from AAA to Lucha Underground and then Impact. Most of my career was spent on TV. And I was, for the first time in this 9 years, going to be a free agent. And that was terrifying. But I also knew that I had to bet on myself. I know that that's like a corny thing to say, but I just knew, I was like, I know I deserve this. I know I'm good enough. I know that this is where I'm meant to be. And thank God, like it worked out. But it was I was, you know, just being like, please God, like praying to all the Lucha Libre gods that I would just, you know, that my dream could finally come true. And it did. And I'm just so excited to just be there and learning from all these people and being able to work with my husband again, because John went back obviously the year before. It's just really an incredible feeling to be reunited with him, you know, working under the same umbrella and finally being part of the WWE universe.
How cool, real quick on your husband, John, how cool is it for you to see him really kind of like, I think I speak for a lot of fans when I say it feels like he's really kind of finally found himself in the WWE universe. Like, his true form of Johnny Drip Drip. He seems like he's having the time of his life, and he's just like doing his thing right now. Like, how satisfying for you as his wife is it to see him having fun and doing his thing and being so happy right now?
Yeah, like he is doing his thing. And you know, you're not the first person to say that to me and being like, he just looks like he's having so much fun and being creative and has like such a calm level of confidence. and knowing what he's doing. So it makes me super excited and super proud as his wife, and also just as, as his best friend, and seeing, my best friend being so happy in his work. And he's been so supportive. All the times I questioned myself to get, if I was going to eventually be in WWE, he was always, my number one supporter and cheerleader. He was there backstage for my debut at NXT. And he's just, we're just constantly pushing each other. And, it's just great to see both of us thriving in this environment together again.